You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
That's the wine and diner with kings and queens.
You're looking at the man. You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
Welcome back after 2 weeks. Drew SBC. Alright, I'm gonna sound like an idiot. How you doing? How am I doing? I'm doing great. I'm glad to be back after 2 weeks. I took that 1 week off. Pretty much because I didn't have anything to talk about. Maybe it sounds kind of lazy, but what happened last week and what happened last week was I already noticed that my charger was already messed up. Like, it'd be one of those things where, like, I would keep it charged in, and it would say your computer is continuing to charge, but it's not charging. So, and then it got to the point where, like, I would have to, like, keep the. I'm doing great, Barrett. Thank you for asking. I would have to keep the charger, like, up in a precarious position to, like, make sure it's still charged. Last week, literally right before the show begins, it continues to fuck up, and then the computer just turns off. Well, actually what happened was I restarted it, and I turned it back on, and then I don't even know what I pressed. I clicked off some screen, and it just completely turned off by itself. And it didn't even turn on. Like, the light wasn't even on or anything. So I'm just looking for answers on. I'm so sorry for being. Excuse my rude manners, Sean. Excuse my rude manners. How are you doing? How have you been, Sean? I'm glad to hear you're doing great. But yeah, so basically what it came down to was a battery issue. I couldn't take it to, like, Best Buy, to, like, the Geek Squad, because that pesky little COVID-19 thing that's going on, that thing, right? So I had to buy a new battery and a new charger. I couldn't even go to Walmart and get it because apparently the charger that I'm looking for, the charger and the battery that I'm looking for, doesn't even exist anymore. Or it doesn't even. It's not that it doesn't exist. They just don't sell it anymore. Well, no, I already bought it. I bought it on Amazon, and it was pretty cheap. It's good. Yeah, I actually frequently buy eBay. I just bought some Skull Candy AirPods for $39.99, which is a damn good deal. Because you go anywhere else, it's $70. That's where I bought my wireless headphones, and those are cheap as hell too. But I use eBay and Amazon, just to see which price is cheaper. But yeah, luckily that was the issue. It was just a battery and a charger issue. So, now I'm back, and I missed a lot of shit. But, yeah, I was kind of, like, contemplating on, even if this one is fixed, I was thinking about maybe even getting, like, an actual desktop. Kind of seems like the way to go. I mean, laptops are easier for me because they're a lot more mobile. You can just carry them around everywhere. Desktops, I think, would be good, like, if you need to, like, do a lot of editing and, like, professional work or whatever. So, I mean, I found some good deals for desktop computers, but, we need to clean out the back room in order to make that happen and get an actual computer desk. So, but, the laptop's fixed. That's all that matters. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that you guys are here to welcome me back. But yeah, let's get let's get the show going. Let's do an intro. Should we even do an intro? I pretty much already said what was going on with me. Fuck it. We won't do an intro. You already know who I am. It's Thursday. It's May 7th. It's 5:04 p.m. Central Time. Like usual, and I'm Yari. So anyone who's just now coming in, or I don't know, If you don't know who I am, you should know who I am by now. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've been gone for 2 weeks. So yeah, we got the laptop issue out of the way. I don't know what I should talk about first. I don't know if I should get into the ratings or talk about Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank I can just leave for later. I just watched AEW today. I watched NXT last night. I heard AEW is actually very good. So I watched it today. I purposely did not see what the ratings were because I wanted to kind of let that be a surprise. What I did see was that AEW, of course, it did win, which was not shocking. Which I don't say that in like an ironic kind of dickish way. I mean, it's more as like AEW actually did have the better show last night. But from what I heard, the numbers are up from last week. So I'm going to look at the ratings right now. I have it saved to my Twitter. I saved the link. All right. All right. So AEW drew 732,000 viewers, while NXT drew 663,000. AEW was ranked 12 in the cable top 150. NXT was ranked 33. AEW was ranked 66 in viewership, while NXT ranked 68 in viewership, which, they're not far behind. Right. And so AEW is up from last week's viewership of 693. NXT actually went down. They actually lost 4,000 viewers. And that's pretty crazy. Looking at more numbers. Based on overnight numbers, Survivor on CBS topped the night on network TV and viewership. Masked Singer, I doubt anyone gives a shit about this, but yeah, basically AEW won yet again, which is not that shocking, and I say that with love because again AEW had the better show last night. But yeah, let's get into NXT. Let's talk about NXT for a bit. May 6th. Johnny Gargano opens the show against Dominic Dijakovic. Jesus Christ, I hate that name. Donovan Dijakovic. There you go, that's his name. An okay match. Are you fucking kidding me? I clicked off the link. I kind of said what I said last night about Dijakovic. I think he's good. I like him. I think he's very good. I just think he's very bland. I can't really... When I see him, I don't see anybody. I just see a guy. I just see a very tall guy. I see him and I see ex-basketball player. With Keith Lee, he has a character. Keith Lee, I see him, I go, oh, it's the Black Dusty Rhodes. But, I don't know. I know it's not just me, but my problem with Donovan Dijakovic is I just have an issue with these guys that are so big. And he's not he's a pretty big guy. He's tall. He's also pretty muscular. I see him selling for guys like Gargano, who he should be out there squashing. He should be out there beating the shit out of. Or a guy like Adam Cole. And I'm talking about these guys like Gargano and Cole, and I like them. But they should not be out there, looking competitive against a guy like Dijakovic, who could literally just facepalm him across the room. And I know I sound like old man that yells at cloud, but I see that, I'm just like, I see a guy like Dijakovic. If he's going to get his ass beat by Gargano, what makes me think he's going to beat a guy like Keith Lee? What makes me think he's going to be able to stand in the ring with Brock Lesnar? Because Brock Lesnar could, more than likely fuck him up. Brock Lesnar will make him look like a bitch. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But Gargano with new music, which good. The whole Paramore theme, I never liked. I'm kind of glad he changed it. he's the new heel. He's the all heart, no soul of NXT, I guess is calling it. So I like this heel Johnny. Him trying to be... This works for him, because I think if he came out and he was just mad all the time, and he just looked like he wanted to kill everybody, him looking mad looks like a toddler when you take away his toys. So it wouldn't work. So him kind of being this kind of arrogant, dick, this annoying, arrogant dick, it works for him. And I like it. Same thing with Candice. So that was the first match of the night. The match was okay. But, Dijakovic, I really don't think he has a future, in my opinion. Cruiserweight tournament. How does everyone feel about this Cruiserweight tournament, honestly? Because I'm not too big on it. Yeah. I mean, I think the only person that matters in it, in my opinion, is Drake Maverick. He's the only person that has any momentum and, like, a storyline. Everyone else, I'm just, Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, because we already know where this is headed. Whoever wins, Jordan Devlin's going to come out and be like, "Oi, you stole me title." I mean, he's not British. I think he's Scottish or Irish or something. But he's going to be like, "Yeah, you stole my title. I'm the real Cruiserweight champion. I challenge you for your title at blah, blah, blah." So we'll see how that ends up. But Akira Tozawa versus Jack Gallagher, I think I was taking out the trash when this happened, so who won? Tozawa won. Good for him, I guess. Tozawa versus Kushida in the finals. And that wouldn't be bad, but that wouldn't be a bad matchup, honestly. You got Xia Li versus Chelsea Green with Robert Stone. Maurice, turn off your mic, or mute your mic, please. Thank you. What's going on, Maurice, by the way? But, Xia Li versus Chelsea Green. Nah. I mean, this kind of was what it was. Aaliyah, Brown Carmella came out and distracted Xia. Did anyone hear audio, man? I heard like a staticky noise. So I don't know if someone was rubbing against your mic. But, Leah came out and distracted Xia. Chelsea went for the prettier. Or the, what is it, the more prettier? She had some, like, weird fucking name to it. So she wins that match. Again, means nothing. Chelsea Green, I like her. She seems like a nice person. She seems pretty cool. She has a sick body, though. Oof. That body, though. That body and her face. I mean, not to say that she's ugly, but she has an odd-looking face. Oh, yeah, definitely. You're very pretty. You're very pretty, Barrett. There's no denying that. Let's see. Oh, the debut of Karrion Kross with Scarlett. Boy. What an entrance. What a way to make a fucking entrance. And I literally had no clue that Scarlett could sing. That was her singing in the entrance video. Like, I gotta look at it again. Singing. I think that was her singing. I think Kevin Castle said that she was really singing. Or it wasn't really singing. I think it was just talking. Like, it was just, I guess, modified talking, whatever the hell you want to call it. But, yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, it was her singing in the video. I guess that's what I was pertaining to. But, she was good at singing. Proving that she's not just a pretty face. She can get down with, the dark, kind of, the dark horror look. Kevin Castle said, Liv Morgan can have her old look. I'm down with this, kind of this devilish, dark look that Scarlett has. Karrion coming out, and the music was awesome. The entrance was awesome. You had fog filling up the ring, and then the match begins. His opponent was Leon Ruff, and the match begins, and there's still fog in the ring. There's still smoke in the ring. And Kross just beats the everything piss out of him. And he beats him with the Kross jacket, which I like that move. I like that move, and I like that name. That looks good on him. What a debut! I mean, just I know I sound like old, Boy Cries Wolf, but imagine what it would have been like if it was in front of an audience. That whole place would have went fucking nanas. They would have been chanting Kross, 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 Kross from beginning, middle to end. Like, that's a star. That's a guy who shouldn't even be on NXT television. And it's not a detriment to NXT. He should be on Monday Night Raw. He should be on SmackDown. The place would go apeshit fucking bananas for him. He's a star. Scarlett's a star. I don't know what they're going to do with Scarlett. I mean, I don't know if they're going to have her wrestle, which I don't think. I wouldn't think that they wouldn't have her wrestle because she can. But I mean, I guess for now they're going to have her, at Kross's side. But that's a fucking entrance. To me, that's a star. He's a star in the making. He's legit, and and I know I like to go on these rants about Kross where it just sounds like I'm blowing him, which I kind of am, but. The guy's a star. The guy looks like somebody we haven't seen in a very long time. And I forgot how Kevin Castle put it. He's like a cross between Austin, Batista, and then he said somebody else. He said like two other people. I'm forgetting. He's a guy that they would be a fool to fuck up. And I hate to be a Debbie Downer. I was putting on Twitter. Creative was already thinking of ways to fuck this up. And because you look at the past, you get Nakamura. One of the better matches I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years was him against Sami Zayn TakeOver. I mean, that entrance was epic. The crowd singing along was epic. But then they bring him to the main roster. They take away his character. They make him dress like a gay figure skater. They take away his old music because Vince apparently didn't want the audience to sing along to it. Because he doesn't like when the crowd has fun at the show, even though that's apparently what he, wants, but whatever. You look at Finn. Finn has done absolutely nothing. Since being on the main roster, still has done absolutely nothing. Kevin Owens, it just seems like it seems like they want to do something with him, but then they remember, oh, he's a fat guy in a t-shirt and basketball shorts. So, I mean, Killer Kross looks a lot different than those guys. Killer Kross is a guy that you can put on a poster. He's a guy you can possibly send out to Good Morning America. You can send him and Scarlett out there. Because when you hear Kross talk, he sounds like he's a smart guy. He sounds like he's a smart dude. So is Scarlett. They look like guys you can market. And again, put on that poster. Put on talk shows. You can send them to ESPN and talk about sports. I don't know. You can have him be the most metal athlete in sports. Baron Corbin, jeez. I mean, he probably does actually listen to metal and not Hot Topic t-shirt metal, which I'm not gonna lie, I do. But it's man, I can't say enough about how much of a star this guy is and what he will be. He's already bigger than NXT, in my opinion. I don't see anyone in the company that seems like they're bigger than him. Like, as much as I like Adam Cole, I see Adam Cole and I see Killer Kross, and I just go, yep, one of these things is not like the other. Same thing with Johnny Gargano. Same thing with Ciampa, who's going to be his first opponent. And quite frankly, keep getting a couple more weeks, he might even be bigger than anyone on the actual main roster. So, and from what I hear, they love him down there, and the way he handled the Nia Jax situation by not handling it. I think that puts him in Vince's eyes and the main roster people's eyes that, okay, this guy's smart. This guy knows to stay away from drama. You know, and I told Kevin this, I think Kross could have easily just made her cry. I think he could have made that bitch cry and quit. But he didn't, because he's smart. Because he knows this doesn't just affect him, this affects his girl. So, and you know, being the fucking cunt she is, she'll probably fuck with Scarlett. Either way, but yeah, Kross, he's a star. I mean, Kieran Kross. I mean, I think that's going to take some time to get used to, but in the end, I think they're just going to call him Kross. I mean, they've gone through so many people that they'll just give him one name. Like Rusev was Alexander Rusev, and they just called him Rusev. So they're just going to eventually just going to call him Kross. I mean, why the fuck not? That's more marketable. It seems very easy for the fans to chant. Sorry to say. But next match, you got the NXT Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Io Shirai. Ending in a double DQ. Well, not double DQ, just a regular DQ. Charlotte takes out a kendo stick and beats the shit out of Shirai. And then Rhea Ripley comes out and attacks Charlotte. Yeah, the match was not that great. The match was kind of a dud. It would have made more sense if Charlotte just straight up beat her. And then in the end, she just continues to beat the shit out of her, and that's when Rhea comes out. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense for her to just bring out a weapon or a foreign object and attack Io with it for no reason. Because it didn't even look like Io was going to win. I mean, we knew Io wasn't going to win, but the match wasn't projecting that it looked like she was going to win. So, as a heel, you know, since she thinks she's queen shit, it would have made a lot more sense that she ends up winning, you know, just on her own. And then after the match, she's like, I'm going to show these bitches what I'm made of. You know, they think I'm playing. I'm not playing. So she continues to try and, you know, break her leg with another figure four. And then that's when Rhea comes out. I mean, that's nitpicking. I'm just nitpicking. So Rhea comes out, challenges her, and Io's pissed off that Rio helped her out, and then they end up fighting in the back. So we got that to look forward to. You got another Cruiserweight Championship match. Kushida versus Tony Atlas. Kushida won. Yeah, I'm just... a lot of... Yeah, the whole Cruiserweight tournament, like Sean just said, you know, some are good, some are eh. Like, it's just eh. That's really my only prognosis on this. I don't... unless Drake wins this, I don't care. Like, that's really how I feel about it, honestly. Let's see. Finn Balor promises to squash Attacker. Cameron Grimes versus Denzel... Jesus fucking Christ, can these guys have easier names to say? DiJournet. Why don't I just call him Denzel D? Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Cameron Grimes beats him and then calls out Finn and then says he's going to spit in his face or smack him or whatever. Finn comes out and beats the shit out of him, so they're gonna have a match next week. Whoopee. And then the main event, you got Adam Cole versus the Velveteen Dream for the NXT Championship. The match was alright. For a second, it looked like they were going to give Dream the belt. But in the end, the Undisputed Era got involved. Again, shocking. During the match, who was it? It was Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish that came out. And then Dexter Lumis came out under the ring and just, you know, fought him off. Lumis didn't know the referee was behind him and threw Fish into the ref. And Adam Cole took advantage of the opportunity. Cole seems to win whenever the UE boys. Yeah, that's really getting annoying. Yeah, I mean, I get it. He's the heel. He needs his boys to help him win. What's going on, Antox?
They want us to let it. We are the non-federal agency.
Hey, would you mind muting yourself real quick? Thank you, man. What's good? Hey, what's going on, Antox? the middle of the show. I'm talking about NXT last time. I'm on the main event. But, yeah, the whole Adam Cole thing, the Undisputed Era, it's just kind of getting annoying. I mean, it just seems like every match ends the same. It's like Adam Cole, the Undisputed Era just comes out and costs whoever the match, make sure Adam Cole wins. Shocking. Shock to the system, whatever they say. It's just kind of, it's kind of already what's the word? It's just gotten old. Like, I'm kind of getting tired of it already. Adam Cole's been the champion for, a year already? He's more than likely going to drop that title at, if there ever is a takeover. At the takeover that's before SummerSlam. Which, again, if there is a SummerSlam. So, yeah, coming close to a year. I forget because he beat Johnny Gargano for it. So, yeah, I think it's already been a year, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, the whole Undisputed Era shtick is getting kind of played out, honestly. And as much as I like those guys, I don't care anymore. Like, I kind of want to see somebody new on that mantle. I don't know if they want to give it to Dream just yet because of, the allegations, but it seems like the allegations already died down. He beat June 1st. All right, so yeah, another month. So, but realistically, who else would they give it to in NXT? I think part of me was wondering if trying to go on the raid might get the titles maybe around before SummerSlam. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, because they want to build themselves up as Mr. and Mrs. NXT. I think your can you still hear can you hear the show, Antox? Yeah, because I see that you're deaf. Hold on. You might have a reason. Oh, okay, never mind. But yeah, Gargano and LeRae being champions, and it would make sense, because, they want to be known as Mr. and Mrs. NXT. So, I asked because, like, I told him to mute himself, or asked him to mute himself, so I don't know if he accidentally, deafed himself, so. But, maybe he has a reason, I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, I guess to be the Triple H and Stephanie, from 2000, where Stephanie was the women's champion for some reason. And Triple H, the game was the WWE champion or WWF champion. So I have a feeling that's going to happen pretty soon. Gargano versus Cole. They're both heels, so I don't know how that would work. I mean, maybe like a fatal 4-way, and Gargano somehow gets the title. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I have a feeling it's going to happen, sooner rather than later. But, yeah, more than likely before SummerSlam. So, yeah, that was NXT. The show was not so good. It wasn't terrible. I mean, the only highlight was, Kross. Other than that, the show just was not very good. I guess I'll get into another reason why I wasn't a fan of the show and why I liked AEW a lot better. But I'm going to review AEW. Yeah, Cody versus Joey Janela to open the show. Match went a little bit too long. I can see what AEW is trying to do. Yeah, that's actually what I was going to get into, Maurice, because they had a lot of the wrestlers around the ring. They also had non-wrestlers. Like, I don't know if it's relatives or, workers or, kids of the workers that, work for AEW or work at, where the Jacksonville Jaguars play. But I don't know why NXT doesn't do that. You have so many fucking people. You have so many trainees and wrestlers under contract. Why not have them just stand around the ring and clap and praise everything. You have non-wrestlers, you have trainers, you have tech people. I mean, didn't Florida already institute that law saying you can, let people in the building? Like, maybe like a certain number of people, but you can still let people in. So I don't see why NXT doesn't do that. I mean, they really could benefit from that. But AEW, yeah, you said 13 minutes and talks. Yeah, it seemed a little bit longer than that though. The match was okay. It was what it was. I'm not a fan of Janela, honestly. But, yeah, Cody doing what he can to put over younger talent, make him look, I guess, on his level. But, yeah, the match was okay. It was what it was. Let's see. Next match, Nyla Rose returns to action. I skipped through that. What was it? Nyla Rose versus Paige. I'm looking on Bleacher Report, by the way. I skipped through that. I didn't care. Jon Moxley versus Frankie Kazarian. Not sure how long this match. They don't say the times on this match. They just give them grades. But the match was actually not that bad. One thing I've noticed about Moxley is that whenever he's in the ring with somebody a little bit better than him, he tends to kind of step it up a little bit. And, I noticed in this match, he was actually very good in this match. Both guys are very good. Kazarian, again, great talent, great hand, just very kind of generic. But the match was actually very good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Before that, a promo by MJF trumpeted his return to the company. He'll be back next week. And then they announced he was going to be wrestling Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing, which should be a good match. Last time they wrestled, it was a pretty good match. And he seemed like he was genuinely pissed off. Like, what? What the fuck? Yeah, Kazarian and Moxley was pretty good. After the match, the Dark Order came out and attacked Moxley. Brody and is doing his Vince McMahon impression. Still, I don't know why. Cutting a promo on Moxley. Saying, I'm here for one thing. I want to be the AEW champion. So I want to face you at Double or Nothing. Which I don't think he said that out loud. He just said, I want that title. Moxley just kind of stood up as much as he could and said, dude, all you do is ask. And then Lee just kicked him in the head. So I don't know if did they announce it was going to be Moxley versus Brody Lee. So yeah, I mean we'll see how that match goes. Yeah, Brody Lee here's my honest opinion. I think if they had switched the roles with him and Archer, it would have benefited both guys a lot better. Because with Brody Lee, it's, what we know about him is that, he's really good. He didn't get a fair chance in WWE. You put him in AEW, it looks like he hasn't worked out in a while. It looks like he's just sleepwalking. It looks like he's, phoning it in. Maybe he just doesn't like the gimmick. I don't know. And then you just have him talk like Vince for whatever reason. So I think if you had brought him in as Jake Roberts' new guy, it would have made sense. Because you just let Jake do the talking and you let Brody just do the ass kicking. A guy like Lance Archer, I think, could have benefited being the exalted one. Which then again, that's kind of a death gimmick. Like that whole gimmick is just rotten and just bad. The next match is QT Marshall versus, or is it Marshall? QT Marshall? Not QT Marshall? Versus Lance Archer. Lance Archer just beat the living piss out of Marshall. During the match, there was a bit where Marshall bumped into Britt Baker, and Britt Baker hit him with her shoe. Brandy ends up grabbing her shoe and throws it across the arena. MJF had probably the best line of the night. Who throws a shoe, Brandy? I love MJF is so fucking nuts. What you call it? Archer wins the match, and then Britt Baker jumps over the railing and DDTs Brandy onto the floor, the padded floor, mind you. Throws her into the ring. Jake Roberts brings in the Snake, which they didn't mention as Damien. I don't know if that's a WWE copyright, or maybe it's just not Damien. I mean, I would imagine Damien died a very long time ago. They'll make him a very old Snake, but puts the Snake on Brandy. There's a part of me that was wondering, like, wait, where's Cody? But then they said that where they're at is like another part of the stadium. So Cody would literally have to get into a golf cart and drive across the stadium to the ring. So that makes sense. I found that out in the main event. But Archer, they didn't mention any. The match was not that good, by the way. And then you have the main event, which is Street Fight, Broken Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega versus Les Sex Golds, Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guevara. All guys dressed in street clothes except for Broken Matt, which I guess that was his idea of street clothes. But this main event was insane. I liked it. I liked everything I saw from it. I liked the bits in it. I thought it was interesting when Matt ended up coming back as Matt Hardy from early 2000 from the Hardy Boys. So I think that's interesting. I don't know if it's like maybe he's trying to do a thing that Mick Foley did where he had 3 phases of Foley. But overall, the match was very good. I'm starting to warm up more and more to Sammy Guevara. Like, I never liked him at first, but now I like him because he's playing the role of a heel. He's actually playing the role of a heel a lot better than most guys are. Like, he recognizes that he's a good-looking guy, and he has the face of somebody you want to punch. And he uses that to his advantage. I mean, he does that tongue thing. I hate that tongue thing. I guess that's why I like him now, because I hate that tongue thing. I want to punch him in the face. But Kenny Omega looked good in the match. Jericho looked good. Everybody looked good. Everybody's shit looked good. There's a bit with a guy named Pineapple Pete. I literally have no idea who that is. Somebody needs to fill me in on who Pineapple Pete is. Apparently him and Jericho have a beef. And they're going to wrestle each other next week. So, is he a wrestler or is he somebody like an internet personality? I don't know who he is. But it ends up going to the back. And all the fans in attendance end up joining them in the back, which you can literally see the arena that the Jacksonville Jaguars play in. There's a bit where Hager and Jericho throw Matt Hardy into the ice box, where you get ice. And then, a couple minutes later, he ends up coming back as Broken Matt and drives in a golf cart. And then he looks at the camera and goes, "I want you to document this important moment in my life." And you just hear Jim Ross, "Well, it's live TV, so..." Oh, man. He gets in and he ends up, I guess, running over Jericho. Not really, because he only got, Jericho's arm or whatever. Kenny gets in and they go after Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara ends up selling that hit like a motherfucker. The end of the match, Omega goes for the one-winged angel on Jericho. Then, but right behind him, you see, who's the other guy? Ortiz and Hernandez. I think that's their names. And they stop it from happening, and it goes to being 2-on-2 to 5-on-2. In the end, Jericho goes for his weird twirling forearm, which for some reason nobody kicks out of. I mean, I know he can't do the lion salt, but can you do a different move besides that? Because that move looks stupid. That's stupider than Cena's move that he tried to do. The Inner Circle comes out, victorious. They pose in front of the scoreboard at the Jacksonville Stadium, and the big Jumbotron portrays the Inner Circle, and the Inner Circle poses by flicking off the camera, which I guess is their thing now. And that's AEW, folks. That's AEW Dynamite. The show is actually very good. I enjoyed it thoroughly. The main event, obviously made the show. MJF just being MJF. Double or Nothing. What is it? It's next week or the week after. I think it's the week after. So, again, why didn't NXT try to do what AEW was doing? Because NXT has something that AEW doesn't. They have a shit ton of people on contract. They have so many people. They have all these guys in developmental, all these guys and girls, all these people working in the back, all these agents, all these people working, with the sound or whatever you want to call it. May 23rd, thank you. And it's like, how do you not think, let's use these guys as our audience members? Like, why? Like, I don't get it. And you look at AEW, those guys look like they were having fun. Like, the heels on one side, the faces on one side. And they look like they were having fun. But, I forgot, it's the WWE. They don't like anyone having fun. They don't like people acting like human beings. It's easy. Like, how do you not do that? Like, I would imagine Triple H is smart enough to think, maybe we should have people out there around the ring. Maybe we should, we have so many people under contract. Let's put them around the ring. But maybe Vince is like, no, we can't do that. I don't know. It's simple. It's simple. So maybe they're waiting until they can officially let people in. I don't know. But again, it's something that they could easily do. And I don't get why they just can't do it. But Money in the Bank, May 10th, which is this Sunday, is from WWE Global Headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. It will be on top of the building. It will be on the roof. And from my understanding, they've already recorded the show. So it's not live. It's pre-recorded. So let's get into predict. Oh my God, why can't I talk today? Predictions. Let's see. We got, and this is Wikipedia, so I don't know if they're going to add more matches after SmackDown, but this is just the matches I had so far. You got Money in the Bank ladder match for the Women's Championship. Match contract. You got Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Carmella. My prediction is that Carmella falls out the building. No, I don't mean that. Yes, I do. But, yeah, Shayna. Shayna's going to win. Shayna really should have won it at WrestleMania, but, give her this, I guess. So, give it to Shayna. Dana, I don't even know why she's in this. Lacey, for the love of God, just please stop letting her act like a plantation owner's wife. And then you got Carmella, which they need to give something for Carmella to do. Besides looking at Corey Graves' fucking retarded ass. The people who look like they're actually going to do something in this are going to be Asuka and Shayna. Nia, I don't know if she can even climb a ladder or physically. I wouldn't be surprised if Nia won, since she has so much heat. But Shayna's going to be my choice. And then you got the Money in the Bank for the men. And then I forgot to mention this: the women and the men's match are going to be played simultaneously, from what I heard. Am I correct on that? Like they're going to have literally them play at the same time? Or are there going to be two rings and they're going to have the women? I don't know. I don't even know if the roof is that big. But then again, it's Vince McMahon. So you got the men's Money in the Bank match. You got Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, King Corbin, Otis, and then AJ Styles. I got two people that I like in this match. I like Aleister Black and I like AJ. AJ seems like he has maybe a bit more momentum, because he got buried and now he acts like nothing happened. No bear. That's one thing I don't get is like, I would have preferred if his character changed. Like, him being buried made him a lot more humble. Or maybe he has PTSD. Like, why not give him PTSD after being buried? Or is he ever going to explain how he got unburied or he got out of that hole? I don't get it. But I mean, if AJ won, I wouldn't be that surprised. Aleister Black, him and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, I think would be an interesting main event. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind if either of those guys won. Otis, I don't really think he needs a win. I think he's just in here for a gimmick. I mean, Otis at this point doesn't need to win. He's already over. Give him the title. I don't think you need to give him the title right now. But yeah, Otis, I don't think he's going to win. Corbin, they need to give something for Corbin to do because for whatever reason they love Corbin. Rey Mysterio's in the match because it's Rey, and they got Daniel Bryan in the match because it's Daniel Bryan. So, it comes down to Black and Styles. I wouldn't be surprised if Styles won. My opinion. But next match, singles match for the WWE Universal Championship. You got Braun Strowman, the champion, defending against Bray Wyatt. Not the Fiend, but just Bray Wyatt. How's this going to go? Obviously, Braun's going to win. I think Braun's going to win, and then something crazy is going to happen after the match. Because CM Punk was on the backstage show. He said this is more of a match that should be at SummerSlam. Like, having these two face already just seems very rushed. Like, this could be your SummerSlam main event. If pushed properly, this could be your SummerSlam main event. Or one of the main events, but Braun's going to win. They might just end up continuing it. You got Bayley. You got the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. You got Bayley versus Mish's favorite girl, Tamina. This is probably going to be a fuck finish. If I had to really like look in a crystal ball, I think this is going to be a fuck finish. For what reason, I don't know why. Because it's Tamina. She just... I love you, Mish, but Tamina's garbage. she sucks. I mean, she's a big bitch, but she sucks. Like, I'm sorry, she's just not very good. It's probably going to be a fuck finish. Like, it's going to make her look like she's going to win and Sasha's going to get involved somehow. So, I mean, they want to give Tamina something because, in the WWE, if you've been in the company for how long and you haven't done anything, and by anything, I don't mean it's like, hey, it's Christian. He's been in the company for how many years? And he's talented. He has great matches. He could talk. He's charismatic, and the fans like him. Let's give him a push. No, it's Tamina. She's been dragging ass for 10, 12 years. She hasn't really done anything. She's never won a championship. She hasn't even had a good match. The fans don't react to her at all. Let's give her a title match. But would it really surprise anyone if Tamina won? Would it really surprise anyone? If they gave it to Jinder, they're going to give it to Tamina. And it's going to be Jinder and Drew after Seth. Ugh. I mean, if they involve Heath, that would be interesting. And then you got Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion, versus Seth Rollins. Drew's going to win it. I have a feeling that they're going to continue this feud. I have a feeling this might be another fuck finish. Like Murphy's going to get involved and maybe cost Seth the match, or might end in a disqualification. Like, I don't know, but the way it looks, they're going to continue this for maybe like the next pay-per-view, and they're going to go to Jinder because fuck us, that's why. So, and again, I like Drew, but I just feel bad for him because he's got nobody to play off of. And this is the last... Well, it's not the main event. This is just the last match that I see on the card. Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The New Day, who are the champions, I don't know why, versus Miz and Morrison versus the Forgotten Sons, versus versus Lucha House Party. Ugh. Ugh. That's my thoughts on those teams. Ugh. I've been watching SmackDown. Why are the Forgotten Sons a thing? Why are they on the show? Somebody's going to say forgotten. Somebody's going to say they were forgotten. They were forgotten in NXT, and like everybody is like put on the spotlight in NXT. I have no interest in those teams. I have no interest in the Lucha House Party. They really shouldn't have taken the titles off of Miz and Morrison. The New Day are in a position where they don't need to be champions. I mean, if they had singles runs, that's interesting. I mean, that's different. You know, Kofi had his. Big E, for whatever reason, they don't want to pull the trigger on him just yet. Xavier, I think, could easily be maybe a Cruiserweight champion or U.S. champion, Intercontinental champion, whatever. Give these guys singles runs. They don't always need to be tag champions. Yeah, New Day's going to win. There's no doubt in my mind they're going to win. So that's Money in the Bank. They're more than... SmackDown is tomorrow, so they're probably going to add more matches. Because that's how it usually goes. What else is there really to talk about? We're already on 55 minutes. Well, I mean, that's including the intro, but... Oh, man. Oh, yeah, Dark Side of the Ring. I had to remind myself. So, yeah, I did watch the Herb Abrams one from last night, or Tuesday, and I watched it last night. I walked into this not knowing anything about Herb Abrams. I literally have never even heard of the guy. I remember I was on, Wrestling Court with Julian, and I just brought up, I literally have no idea who that is. And he's like, what? You don't know who Herb Abrams is? I'm like, no, obviously I don't, since I'm asking. So, this guy was a fucking nut. Like, this guy was a nut. Like, he made Paul Heyman look like a saint. As far as, like, a guy who was in charge of a company and booking. Like, it was bananas because it looked like, the way they were describing UWF was that it was almost as big as WWF. Or it was getting close to it. Like, it had that popularity. It had that kind of underground popularity. Because you had big names on it. You had Cactus Jack. You had Paul Orndorff. You had other big names. You had why am I blanking on his name? Fuck. It'll come to me. But he had some big names there. And this guy, Herb, was apparently, he had like a shit ton of money. There's a part in it where one of the managers or some of the wrestlers are, saying, hey, we want to get paid or else we're not going out there. And Herb apparently had 2 bank accounts. And it's not that this guy was, burning checks. Like, he actually had money, but he just didn't want to give it away. And then eventually he lost all that money. Like, the name of the episode was it Cowboy Boots and Cocaine? Like, literally every story they seem to tell about Herb is that he was always doing cocaine in some way, shape, or form. The story seemed a little quick. I actually liked the story. It was a lot better than the past couple ones I liked. I wasn't a big fan of the Dino Bravo episode. I think what comes into play in that is there wasn't a lot of information. Like, it just seemed like people were just sitting around theorizing as to what might have happened. And also, I think, the language barrier kind of played a point. You can read the subtitles, but, it was... I wasn't a big fan of the episode. The Jimmy Snuka one, because I think we already kind of knew about it. The Dr. D. David Schultz, there you go. Love that one, by the way. Like that one, and I like the Herb Abrams one. The David Schultz one. It's weird because that guy got screwed. Like, that guy really did get screwed. You look at his past, he was Stone Cold before there was Stone Cold. the guy was doing things that they would never do today. You know, like they go into his home and he's firing off guns, and he's apparently like, you know, being abusive and mean to his wife and kids. He's like telling his kid, "Boy, get outside before I hit you." And I'm just like, wow, they would never do that today, like ever. And then they send that fucking queef John Stossel to go interview him, and it's just like, you look back on that tape, and the guy's just a fucking asshole. Like, he's saying, you know, I don't want people, you know, falling for bullshit. Like, it's one thing to say, I'm not a big fan of wrestling, but other people are. So, A, B, C, and D. But he's like being just this very snobby, just like douchebag, like saying, you know, oh, people like it. They don't know it's fake. It's stupid. Like, ugh. Like, you're stupid for liking it. And then he gets to Schultz, and he's admitting that Schultz is making him feel uncomfortable. Here's my question. If you know he's making you feel uncomfortable, if you feel like you're genuinely afraid of him, why in God's name would you say it's fake? If he would have said maybe, I don't know, what's your response to people who think it's fake? Maybe it would have been a different response. Maybe Schultz wouldn't have smacked him. Maybe Schultz would have said, you know, bring him in this ring and I'll smack him around, show what's fake. No. He just says, well, I think it's fake. He doesn't even ask him a question. He just says, I think it's fake. And then Schultz smacks him really hard. Like, was it on the ear? I've had those slaps before. My dad, ex Air Force man, for his country, for this country, I've gotten slapped upside the head before. It hurts. Maybe it's not that degree because my dad's not the size of David Schultz in his prime, or never was. But then he smacks him again, and it's funny because Vince apparently told Schultz, go take care of this guy, go show him how we do things. But in Vince's defense, he didn't tell him go smack the shit out of him. And then literally after that happens, he ends up going out to the ring and having a match. And then John Stossel sues him. And here's where you knew he was full of shit. You know, he was saying about his pain that the doctor for the WWE was telling him, you're probably holding it in. That's the problem. And then he said when he got paid, that pain went away. Which goes to show you, he was a con man. He was a scam artist. And then you get, was it Jimmy... What the fuck's his name? Help me out. Anybody help me out. Who was the wrestler that appeared on Dateline with John Stossel? The guy that was in the documentary, the guy was apparently saying, you know, oh, I'm doing this for the boys. I'm doing this so we can get insurance. Like, what was his name? His name was Jimmy something. Unless that's... Was that really his name? Waiting for an answer. Eddie. Okay, Eddie. What was his name? Eddie... It's not Eddie Valiant, it's Eddie Mansfield. There you go, Eddie Mansfield. Thank you. Eddie Mansfield, who, you know, Jim Cornette's word, was a washed up, never was. The guy never really had a career, so he decides to appear on Dateline and basically exposes the business. And, you know, I'm not in the camp of like a Jim Cornette where I'm like, well, he's exposing the business. Fuck that motherfucker. No, it was just in the manner. Because he's saying, you know, oh, I'm doing this for the boys. Like, no, you did this for yourself. You purely did this for yourself. Because you were a nobody. Your career was going nowhere. Nobody knew who you were. So you decide to appear in Dateline to get paid. He was a piece of shit. Fuck him. And that's really all I'm going to say about Eddie Mansfield. He didn't deserve anyone to talk about him in any way. And then eventually Schultz ends up, I think he either quit or got fired. But I mean, he's not hurting for money. He ended up becoming a bounty hunter. I think he ended up having his own show. He looks like he's doing fine. I mean, because at the end of the documentary, he didn't look like he was, like, bitter. I mean, yeah, he was upset, but, I mean, you see his house. His house looks pretty nice. I mean, he's running his own business. He looks like he's doing fine. Jim Cornette said, even if that didn't happen, I think he would have eventually gotten bitter and left the business, just on how the business ended up turning out. Because you look at Schultz's past, you look at how he got trained. He got trained in the old school. Don't give away secrets of the business. Kayfabe. Know what's right for the business. Eventually, Vince doing the whole rock and roll cartoon thing. I doubt Schultz would have been a part of that. So, the Herb Abrams one, again, very good. Very short, though. That's really my only complaint about a lot of these Dark Side of the Rings, is that they're very short. I wish they were a lot longer. The Benoit thing was longer, which is good. The New Jack episode could have benefited from being another hour. It seemed like there were so many stories you could have told about New Jack. Because literally the whole New Jack episode was just him talking about cocaine and then it ended. Or cocaine and him stabbing someone and it ended. So, again, there's so many stories you get told with him. The Owen Hart one is going to be a two-parter, so that's good. Next week is going to be the second to last episode, which is about the Road Warriors, which I'm interested to see how that turns out. I imagine it's going to be very heavy on Hawk. I know when Jim Cornette had the two guys from that were on the Dark Side of the Ring, they said it's a very emotional show because a lot of people that knew Hawk, not just wrestlers but like people, said that they knew Hawk. That he changed their life. Before he passed away, he was doing some good in the world. So I imagine it's going to be a pretty emotional episode. I'm a big baby, so I cry at everything. So, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Wrestling Soup will start in 28 minutes, so catch that. They're going to be in Discord if you already have their Discord, and also Mixler. Go to their Patreon, it's just $5. And, by the way, happy birthday to John Draper. He is 24? 21? He's young. He's a young, spry individual. Happy birthday to him. Hope he has a great day. 24 times 2 plus 1. Oh, man. Math. Where's Scott Steiner when you need him? But, yeah, happy birthday to John. If you haven't wished him happy birthday, wish him happy birthday already. Whether you follow him on Twitter or Facebook. Or wish him happy birthday on the show. So, and DTKC, make sure you listen to that show, which I don't think I need to tell you that. And, Don Tony, Kevin Castle, also Trez, good friend of ours who does a show with Kevin Castle on their Patreon. You got the Texas Podcast Massacre. You got Wrestling Court with Julian and Rob. You got False Count Radio with Angie Carlick. Let's see, who else do we have? We have B. Show Brian. He has two podcasts. He has a wrestling podcast, which is a bit more kind of almost like a fantasy, almost like a retelling of like certain like pay-per-views. And then he has his own horror podcast. So if you're a fan of that, listen to that. Like, definitely. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone else. You got Ruben Prime TV. You can find him on Spotify. You got Wrestling Overdose with Shaheen. If you have any graphics that need to be done, whether it be like a logo for a show or anything, look him up. The guy's the best in the world at what he does. He made 2 logos for me. You got to get in the corner with Yuck Nasty and Dogger Baby. Yuck Nasty made the theme for my show. If you're into music, if you're an aspiring artist, if you have a podcast, if you have a YouTube channel, and you want a theme, if you want a tasty theme done, look him up. Look Yagnesia. Guys, again, best in the world at what he does. Thank you, Maurice. And pretty much anyone else, if I haven't shouted you out, thank you. Thank you for everybody for being so patient for these past 2 weeks. I know it's been weighing on everyone's mind on how I'm doing. I'm doing great. And if anyone didn't know, I put on my personal Facebook. I took a COVID test and I'm negative. I came out negative, so I'm good. But yeah, I'll be back next week, same time, same show. Same time, same channel. That's what I meant. Same day. But thanks to the NXO, we were all COVID positive. NXO. I'm going to sound like an idiot, Sean. What is the NXZ? I forgot Enzo. Oh yeah, Enzo, he put out an album, or I don't even know if he has it. He has an album that's currently coming out, and Wrestling Soup, the single that's on the album, I guess. Wrestling Soup decided to, I guess, review the song and play it, where he's basically saying, fuck you, COVID-19. It's like, Enzo, for a brief second, he almost looked like he was human. He almost looked like he was going on the right path, and then he puts out an album. It's bad. I can't listen to it. I refuse to listen to it. I mean, yeah, I listen to the show, but I'm never listening to that song again. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, have we heard anything from COVID-19? Their response to the song? From what I hear, they're getting ready to drop their diss song. COVID-19 has declined to comments. Oh, fucking Enzo. Really nice guy. Does good things for the fans. He did a shout out for Anthony Missionary Thompson, whoever the fuck that is. And there's videos of him visiting kids, hanging out with them, which I thought was pretty cool. He does good things for the fans. His music, on the other hand, he should probably just stay away from music. I mean, he has a future as like a manager in wrestling. He should be a manager in wrestling or an announcer. Like, why the fuck not? But anyways, that's the show. Wrestling Soup is at 6:30, so head on over there. Again, I will see you guys next week. I will upload the show ASAP. And you already know where to find me. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, Drew Yari Show. And take care, Shawnee. Thank you, Antox and Maurice and Sean and Barrett, anyone else who was listening. And take care, guys. Peace.